Hello, my name is Cecilia Cho, and this is my prezi for Exodus 4, the start of Moses' story. Exodus 4 is that the Lord told Moses to free the people of Israel from Egypt. Moses in return responded with the question, "What if they do not believe me when I tell them that the Lord has told me this?" So the Lord enchants Moses' staff to turn into a snake, to prove to the people that the Lord himself told Moses to free them. Moses meets up with Aaron, and they both help free people from Egypt. In a Bible, many words are repeated so that more emphasis and focus would be put on it. They are also put in a specific pattern, and this shows the emphasis and the importance of that word. Many repeated words in Exodus 4 is the Lord, Moses, sign, God, staff, and Egypt. During Exodus 4, many questions passed my mind, and one would be, why was Moses chosen to be the savior of the people trapped in Egypt? Well, to answer that question, I believe that the Lord chose Moses because he knew that Moses had the ability to think about what could happen, and that he had his own mind, and that he would question the Lord when needed, and he thinks through the situation. And my second question is, why did God free Israel through a human rather than himself? I think that the reason the Lord used Moses to free the people from Israel is because that God wanted to show that that people can trust one another, and that they should worship God as a whole. In the beginning, it was an honor for Moses to be called when God commissioned him. So it was a real big honor for Moses to be chosen by the Lord himself to free the people of Israel from Egypt. And he also explains how Moses was very doubtful that the people would believe him, and that the Lord showed him that there are other ways to prove other than just by words, in which he used his powers to enchant the staff into a snake. Another comment is that Matthew Henry's believes in the end of Exodus 4 that the people they started bowing their heads and worshipped by not only expressing their humble thankfulness towards God, who had raised them up and sent them a deliverer, but also because of a cheerful readiness to observe orders and pursue the method of their deliverance. The translator's note for 4:11, Moses answered again, is that the first part of this extensive call, Yahweh promised to deliver his people. The first 9 verses also shows that God gave Moses a sign in case Israel did not believe him. This shows how God dealt with people, and it showed how there's different methods to making people believe you other than using words. And also there's another translator's note for 4:9. Some water from the Nile and pour it out on the dry ground. The water you take out of the Nile will become the blood of the dry ground. This is a very powerful sign, for the Nile has always been the source of life in Egypt. So it sort of symbolizes the importance and how there will be a big change. And this also shows that there will be a struggle with Egypt, and how there's going to be a plague soon due to the issues between them. It also shows the power of God and how he can change things and cause a different situation to occur from one. This chapter shows God. What does this chapter show about God? Is that God cares for Israel and wants them to be redeemed from Egypt. It also shows that he has a deep personal relationship with humans, and that he is willing to make the sacrifices to deepen that connection. And this chapter shows that the people really need God at a time like this, because after being imprisoned by the Egyptian pharaoh and they lost all hope, they really need someone to save them. And this is the credits. I used BibleStudyTools.com, Bible.org, and Bible Gateway.